So we've all heard the phrase, drive for show, putt for dough. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you 2 drills that are going to get you using this less times and get the dough rolling in. So are you one of those golfers who can't get the long putts near the hole, and when it does get close to the hole, you just can't get it in, and it's a real killer for your score? Well, the 2 drills I'm going to show you today are about improving 2 of the 3 key skills to be a great putter. Now, I know what you're thinking, what are the 3 skills? Well, the first one's green reading, which I'm not going to touch on in today's video because I'm going to do a whole different video on that. The ability to set the ball off online is skill number 2, and to get the speed control right is skill number 3. Now, probably most important on long putts is speed control, and on those shorter ones is the ability to set the ball off online. So, if you're one of those guys who keeps missing right and left with the short ones, we're going to start with the best drill I use with every pupil to get you setting the ball off online more often. Okay, so we've pushed 2 tees into the ground, slightly wider than the width of the ball, and we're going to put the ball about 6 inches away. If you put it too far away, the ball might already be breaking by the time it gets to there. Now, what you'll generally see with most golfers who struggle with short putts is when they stand over this putt and they try and get the ball through the gate, they'll hit either the right or left one. Really poor golfers, there's no consistency, but most golfers tend to hit one side more than the other. Now, if you've got a straight putt from 10 foot and you set the ball off more than 1 degree right or left, the ball will miss. So you can imagine this is a really key skill. So we're going to pop the ball down. And probably the biggest mistake I see golfers make is probably with ball position. So they get the ball too far forward because they're trying to hit up on the putts. But we want the ball to be a little bit more central due to the fact that with your putting stroke, the stroke actually creates, irrelevant of your putter, a little bit of an arc around your body. So you can imagine if the ball was too far back in the arc, the putter will be looking to the right, and potentially on the way through, the putter's arcing to the left. So that putter could be looking left, or you could be manipulating it on the way through. So we're going to try and feel, get the ball fairly central, eyes for me just inside the golf ball, and then you try and roll it through that gap. Obviously that was great. You're going to pull another one in, get set, go through your little routine, and roll it through the gap. And again, pop that up there, get set, and roll it through the gap. Now, what you need to appreciate is every single putt on the golf course, or the practice green, you want to treat like a straight putt. So you're going to aim the putter where you want the ball to set off, and then set the ball off on that line. So this is probably the best drill that you see with any golfer. You can start being a little bit more generous, but the better you get at it, make that gap as tight as you can to the golf ball and really get good at setting the ball off online. So hopefully you've managed to do that as quickly as I did in the video. If not, that's even something you can practice at home in the house, maybe pop a couple of coins down and really get grooving that. So the second drill is about speed control. And I do appreciate that when you play different places, the speed of the greens, length of the grass can be different, and slopes. But on the practice green, before you go out to play, get the golf ball down and put some tees and pace it out maybe 10, 20 and 30 feet. So you get a feel that day as to what those length putts feel like. And then when you do have to adjust on the golf course for that little bit of slope, or if there's enough slope on the practice green, you can practice that. So you've kind of learned those distances a little bit more before you go out to play. Now, for distance control, I think it's really important that you do have your practice swings, but I recommend practice swings looking at the target. So we'll go 10 foot first, couple of practice swings, get that feel, then look back at the tee, eyes back to the ball, and hit the putt. And that was not bad, just passed, but decent distance control. So then we're going to go 20 feet. So again, same routine, 2 practice strokes, looking at that tee, and then in, one last look, and hit the putt. Maybe a little bit further past now would be ideally like him. And then final one, go 30 feet, have a look, do those practice swings, get yourself in, one last look, and roll the putt. And that one's definitely a little bit firmer than I would like. And that one's probably 2.5 feet past. Now, once you've gone through the distances, and again, it's about doing some quantity with that quality practice, then just mix it up a little bit. So don't go 10, 20, 30. So you might go 30 feet first, go through that routine. That's much better. And even if they don't go in, that's still a nice little tap in. I'm going to go 10 feet. Go through that routine. And again, weight was perfect. And then that final one for me. But you could do any length. You could do 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, whatever you feel you've got time for and there's space for to do. So we've got those 20 footer now. And the 10 footer gets in the way and ruins it. So if time allows, then put the two drills together. And if you can then set the ball off online and have good speed, even if it doesn't go in because your green reading's not there, it's just little tap-ins every time. So we're gonna go about 6 inches from the two tees, go for the 10-foot one first. And for me, a little tentative, so I didn't quite reach there. Now we're gonna go, as I'm going for the 20-footer. Move those out of the way though, so it doesn't interrupt like the last one. So go through the routine, have the practice swings. I'll be honest, just got maybe a little bit of paint on that one, and that would be my bad one as I get longer with my putts. Tend to just pull it a little bit. So now we're going to go 30-footer, and obviously as the swing gets longer, you might struggle having perfect club face control. But once we're getting 20, 30-footer, the stats on holding those are tiny, so if they don't go in, just as close as possible. So 30 foot to finish. Again, clip the inside one. So it definitely shows for me, kind of that 10 foot and closer, I'm pretty good. When I'm getting into those 20, 30 footers, definitely need to be able to just control that putter face a little bit more, but it is more about speed on those. So like I said, 10 foot in, really about getting the ball online. Outside 10 foot, it is a combination, but speed control is more important. But if you can do those two drills, I guarantee you'll use this club less often and get those scores right down.